What is up, YouTube? We are we are back. I'm mad. I cannot believe what is going on right now. Absolute insanity, ruined because two of the fighters I needed to win on the card lost. We'll go over it. Tough. I'm gonna break this video up into two parts. First one is about going over the outcomes of the fights. Second one is who we're matching everyone up with. Starting off, we have Nora Cornell versus Haley Cohen. I went with Cohen by decision because you usually cannot trust the favorites when it comes to WMMA. I was wrong. Cohen won the first round. I was like, oh, okay, should be good here. And Cornell came out there and got the sub in the second round. It was tough. Yeah, like I said, Cohen won the first round. Cornell looked pretty decent out there from what I remember. So we'll see what goes on with that. So yeah, bad pick on my end, of course. On to the next fight. We had Marco Tulio versus Trace Sean Gore. That was one of the few fights I predicted correct right to the T. I had Tulio second round KO. This fight was actually really good. I really enjoyed this fight a lot. In my opinion, it's probably top 5 fight of the year for me. I don't know. Maybe it's just recency bias or whatever. I'm not saying it is fight of the year for me. I still think that Merab and Umar fight was insane, and there's a few others I'm probably just not thinking about. But I thought it was really up there. I thought it was a really fun fight with everything. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this Tulio guy does. As for Trayshawn Gore, man, that's tough. I've always been a fan of him. I mean, he's always makes some really sketchy decisions, but you know, it's tough to see him go out like that. He took a lot of damage in that fight. It's almost like he was just too tough for his own good, and I hate saying that, but you know, it is what it is. So I hope and wish him the best. I hope he recovers. Tulio though with the body shots. He got stung a few times too. When everyone thought Gore was out, you know, he would just, I think he connected with like 2 right hands and Tulio got rocked. I think at the one time he fell on the knee. Could be tripping. I don't even remember. But yeah, I got that right. Tulio, second round KO. Moving on to the next fight, we had Sumadarji defeating Mitch Raposo. I had Raposo third round sub. I thought he pulled off late like a Schnell type thing. And his wrestling was pretty solid, but he couldn't do anything with it. I don't know how he thought he won that fight. That was absolutely crazy, honestly. So, wait, hold on, let me turn that. I don't know how to turn this down. These commentators talking loud. Hold on. Let me shoot real quick. But yeah, I don't know how Raposo won that. Thought he won that. That was actually crazy. I think with Sumadarji, I think he's still out of his prime. I really don't think he's that good. I don't think he makes it back in the top 15, but I did think he won that. Like, I don't know, but Raposo, even though I thought he was going to win by third round sub, he did look better than I thought he would, but like that's not saying much. Like outside of his really solid takedowns and timing on them, like he did nothing. You know, he was just kind of outmatched. So it's gonna be a long run for him. Maybe he gets cut. I think he's on the loss streak of some sort, but we'll see what happens. I think with I'm just gonna pause this real quick. See if I can set it through here. Audio. Yeah, this is so loud. So yeah, either way, that fight was kind of boring. We're moving on to the next one though. We got Michel Olejniczuk versus Cedric Dumas. I had Olajayshuk by decision. He did it way easier than I thought he did because he trains with the fighting nerds now. But yeah, so yeah, he just went out there, kind of made it look easy. I knew he was going to win. I know Dumas kind of had, if anything, more momentum going in since he wasn't on a loss streak. He was winning, but I don't know. I just really don't think Dumas is uh, UFC good. I think he's like, yeah, it's kind of tough, but old Zayshook, I really don't think it's that good either, but he has the experience, he's just one of those guys. It's just like, if you beat him, you're decent. If you don't, you're just not. And like I said, I don't think Dumas is that good, unfortunately. But either way, moving on to the next fight, we have Julian Rosa versus Darren Elkins. This is probably one of my worst beats of the year. I was fairly confident in Darren Elkins. I don't know why, looking back on this. I just, even though he was so old, I was like, oh, dude, he's just one of those guys that just really just fitting to his nickname, eat the damage, and kind of just finds a way to like pull it out. And I just didn't really think Orosa has that dog in him. Also another veteran who's been through a lot of wars. It's going in, I didn't think Orosa was gonna win, and Orosa made it look so easy. It was honestly so sad to see Elkins look like that. Um, I really thought it was so hard to watch. It kind of gave me like Tony and Gaethje vibes. It's tough to see. So yeah, Rosa with a win there. I think he's on a win streak now. Good for him. On to the next fight though. We got a Chase Hooper versus Jim Miller. I got this one right. Yeah, that's right. I had Hooper by decision. This is a tough one going into it to predict it. So I'm not gonna really, you know, boast about this one too much, even though I got it right. It's just, yeah, it was definitely Hooper's fight. I can't remember if I gained Miller around. I don't think I did, but it was tough for Jim Miller. I think Hooper, he's finally evolved. He's built himself into lightweight. I think he's still so young too, so there's no reason to push him. Just let's keep doing this like gradual build for him, and man, I think he's a pretty good fighter, though. That was a big test to pass, and he did it fairly easily. Kind of did a whole lot of nothing. Though it wasn't the most entertaining fight. So I'm not saying, oh, let's jump him up, let's put him on main card of a pay per view now. Like, he's still prelims material. He's main card on the Apex, but yeah, we gotta. I don't know. Either way, he wins, so that's all that matters at the end of the day. People like you when you win. They don't when you lose. It is what it is. That's just how sport is. That's how life is. It's tough. That's how it goes, though. But either way, yeah, good win for Jace Hooper. Moving on to the next fight. Vienna defeated Yan Xiaonan. I got this wrong, but in my prediction breakdown, I was saying if Virna won, I wouldn't mind it because of all of the chaos that would ensue later on, especially if she does the unthinkable and beats Zhang Wei Li, which is now very possible after what I saw in this fight. She made it look so easy that I really don't think Tabitha Ricci should even be a ranked fighter. And I think Tabitha Ricci. No, I like Tabitha Ricci. I don't can't really speak on her skill set after seeing this anymore. But Virna looked that good that I'm just wondering what was Tabitha Ricci doing? She should have easily got Dion down and held her down, kind of. But Virna might just be that person. She might just be. And I hope she wins the title. That would be awesome. I hope she has like 8 title defenses in a row, beats Joanna's record, GOAT strawweight, something crazy, shake up the MMA world, and before you know it, there's Virna memes everywhere, and it's just going to be Virna in everyone's faces. Something like that would be crazy. But either way, dominant win. I had Yan by a second round KO. I thought she'd catch her. Because like I said, I thought Yan was looking so good after the Wei Li fight. I was like, she's right there with her. And then in the Ricci fight, I was like, okay, this one is... she might be the one to do it, but Virna made it look easy, so I don't mind losing that one. It is what it is. On to the next one, though. We had Dan Ige versus Sean Woodson. I have Woodson by decision. Ige, it was such a bad stoppage. I love Dan Ige, though. Good for him, even though I did bet Woodson. Um, I think it's crazy. I did see this is true that all judges had it scored 2-0 Ige. That's insane. I think Sean Woodson won the first round, but I did think he lost the second. So I know some people had a 2-0 Woodson. I didn't, but yeah, that's a very, very weird scorecard. That's almost like rigging it. It probably is, but either way, that's tough, man. So tough for Sean Woodson. Um, I think they'll give him something decent though after this. Uh, Good for Danny again. I've always been a big fan of him. I'm glad he's able to get that one back, honestly. So either way, we'll have commentator volume at 15. Either way, I think big win for Ige. Tough scene for Woodson. Tough scene for the sport. That the early stoppage and scorecards, it degrades it. Absolutely degrades it. So what was going on there, we don't know. On to the next fight, though, we have Dominic Reyes defeating Nikita Krylov. I also called this one perfectly. I said Reyes first round KO. I was a little worried about the pick going into it because I'm like, yeah, like Nikita's pretty underrated, but at the same time, his fight IQ is kind of sketchy from what I remember. You know, he got caught in the triangle with Paul Craig. Um, a few other things I remember seeing that I was just like he's good, but I just don't really know if I can trust him like that. Dominic Reyes is no joke. I still am very worried about his durability, but he he could put some people away, definitely in top five. So we'll see what happens with him, but either way, um, oh sorry, I'm like really sick right now. Oh my gosh, and I'm mad. It's a horrible combination. Yeah, so yeah, I had that correct. Yeah, Nikita, he didn't really look that good, honestly. I was very surprised, but guess just like that's just how it goes. But yeah, I wish he has a speedy recovery, obviously, but Dominic Reyes, man, he's back. Better than ever. I really thought after that spam fight he was done. I was like, there's no way he ever recovers. People thought he was done after the Yan fight, the Yuri fight especially. I mean, this is insane comeback right here. And we'll get to Volk in a second, but this is starting to make me feel like if you really do stay off for a long, long time, I wouldn't say helps your chin, but and it might help like a little bit. I don't know. Like what happened with Volk and Dom Reyes, like they've been needing some shots and they're fine recently. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but either way, great win for Reyes. Really impressed by that. Moving on to the next fight. This is the fight that actually was the death of me. Heart was pounding the whole time, and then for it to end like that is so tough. Um, you know, I'm not gonna get into it too much because YouTube and I don't want to get demonetized on some crazy stuff, but some BS, whatever. John Silva cemented himself top 10 least favorite fighter in UFC. Cringe with the whole dog thing and the whole cage thing. And then the disrespect over Bryce after he was out cold. You won. I get it. There was a lot of going into it, but disrespectful, man. I don't like that guy. He's definitely my least favorite fighting nerd. They're all, how did I not make that? What? Rigged. This game is rigged. Either way, yeah, that was tough. I got that right. I did say Silva. I thought by decision. Some people say Bryce won the first round. I think I had the first round for John Silva. I don't know. I would say I'd rewatch it, but I would never want to rewatch that horror scene that was before my eyes. Um, Gosh, that one hurts so much. I'm not even like a big Bryce fan, honestly. It's just, I don't know. There's just something about that just didn't feel right. Silva's a freaking demon or something. I don't like it. I hope he gets chinned or something or just out grappled. Ugh. But yeah, Bryce didn't really look that good in my opinion. He was active, which I liked. He was a lot of volume out there, but John Silva just kind of made it look too easy, man. It showed that he's a level above. He stuffed the takedowns. I don't think the takedowns were set too well, but the ones that were, like he was stuffing, it was kind of crazy, you know. And then the sub was nasty, so it's so tough, man. I hope Bryce is well, man. I hope he retires. In a sense, um, it's just like MMA is not for you, my boy. Honestly, you're really good. You probably will find yourself in the top 15 again and stay there for a while, but I can't keep seeing you lose like this, Bryce. It's tough, man. So, either way, I don't want to talk about this any longer. Silva won. I said by decision, second round submission, whatever. On to the next fight. I had Pitbull beating Yair by decision. Yair beat Pitbull. Yair dropped Pitbull. I don't know. It was kind of a boring fight, but when it had its moments, they were fun moments. It is what it is. I don't know. I just wonder where they're gonna rank Pitbull now, in a sense. Like, do you do what you did Kayas's Kura? Just throw him at the bottom of the rankings, or do you kind of keep him in that top 10 range, or maybe right outside of it? I don't know. But yeah, not too much to talk about that fight either. I was kind of excited for it just because I want to see what Pitbull did, but hearing that he was like 38 and that he made his professional debut before I was even in kindergarten, that's crazy. Like, he's been fighting for a long, long time. Like, that's insane. Either way, good for Yair. Does not deserve a title shot. We'll get to that in the second part of the video. But moving on to the next fight, we have Paddy Pimblett versus Michael Chandler. I said Pimblett by decision. So I got the Pimblett part right. I kind of forgot it was a 5-round fight, so if I knew if it was 5 rounds, I probably wouldn't have done decision. Actually, maybe. I don't know. Either way, yeah, Pimblett made it look way too easy. I kind of, after rewatching the Bobby Green fight, or saw like a breakdown of it or whatever, I really did notice that he was actually getting better. Like, I was trying to, because I'm not a fan. I've never have been a fan. I think he's annoying. I think he's kind of cringe. He's so full of himself as well. But after a fight like this, I kind of understand it now, you know? He is pretty good. Like, you gotta think, like, Chandler just went 5 rounds with Oliveira. And had moments. I wouldn't say it was a competitive fight. Had moments. I think it was only the 5th, but either way, I think this is an impressive fight for Paddy. The knee was nasty. That was actually kind of crazy. I couldn't believe that. I think Chandler has regressed, though. Paddy's progressed, obviously. He's probably right in his... He's probably right in his... Let's be humble right here with this. Yup. Absolutely. Overcoming those challenges made this. I don't know how to answer this. Yes, I don't know. All right. Yeah, so great win for Paddy. We'll talk about who we're gonna match him up with. And Actually, I will tell you who I think Patty loses to right now and who he beats. And I've thought about it because we can't go off a recency bias, but we do have to respect a performance like that against a top level guy like that. So I think Patty beats Dustin, who he won't even face anyway because Dustin's going to retire after his next fight. I think he loses. Or wait, no. I think he beats Dustin, beats Justin. I think he might beat Oliveira. Very bare. Like, I would still lean Oliveira, but it'd probably be like 6 out of 10 times, 7 out of 10 times I'd lean Oliveira. Like, I think Patty would win a few times out of 10. I do not think Patty beats Ilya, Islam, Arman, definitely, though. The size is a little like worrisome and crazy for like especially the Armands and Ilyas, but I don't see him beating those three guys with the grappling and some of them the dynamic striking. I think it'll be too much, but yeah, Patty has definitely solidified himself as probably a top 5 fighter in that division right now. Like I said, I do think he would beat Dustin and Justin in a fight. But on to the main event, another absolute heartbreaker, especially because I not only doubled down on my bets, I tripled down on Diego Lopez. As the night went on, I was just like thinking, I was like, man, I think we're gonna see it. I think Volk is gonna go down. This is gonna be it. Um, it's just tough to see. You get old, whatever. Obviously, people were like, "Oh, Drake curse," and the over 35 curse, which I don't believe in curses and none of that crap, but over 35 thing, it's definitely a factor to think about, especially in these lighter weight classes, man. Even though I think in MMA, most fighters outside the heavier divisions peak around that like 32, 33, 34 age, I think once they hit like that 35, 36 thing, it's like they kind of fall off, whether they get knocked out or it's just the speed declines tremendously. So I really didn't think Volk was going to do it. I thought Lopez, even though I think Volk is a better fighter than Lopez, I thought the finishing potential, especially early with Lopez and the questionable durability of Volk, I thought for sure Lopez is going to find his way at some point. And in a sense, it gave me like Ankalaev and Pereira vibes, like where I was just like wanting like Lopez to throw a lot more, but now looking back on it, like I understand he respected Volk, and Volk had him stunned a few times, so yeah, he respected Volk. Obviously, Volk doing the beautiful jab, lead leg kick, just making it look so clean, effortless. It was really nice, man. It was good for Volk, tough for me because I wanted Lopez, I wanted a new guard, I wanted us to all rally behind a new guy at featherweight with Ilya moving up. But I don't think this is the end of Lopez, like he said in the post-fight interview. I think he'll be back. He was a little gun shy, like I said, and it was a little annoying, especially in that 5th round. I felt like he was definitely getting aggravated because Volk was just doing his thing. But you know, I really wanted to see a little bit more out of Lopez. I think he could have emptied the tank a little bit more. But yeah, there was definitely a lot of respect there, which is understandable to a degree, especially with a guy like Volkanovski. So either way, tough scene, but at the same time, I think with this, stupid phone messages. I think with this, potentially a rematch down the road, you know, I wouldn't mind it. I don't think it was that lopsided where I wouldn't entertain it. So either way, man, it was a tough card. It was a good card looking from a non-biased perspective. It was a really good card. A lot of fun fights, a lot of finishes. some outcomes some of us like didn't see, predict at all. So, it was good to have a card like that that finally lived up to expectations, a pay-per-view like that. Um, Now replicate at UFC, really not that hard to do. And that's what we're about to get into, matchmaking, the best part. Still absolutely angry. We'll see how angry I am when I'm reading off these names and who they should fight. Oh man, I'm getting ready. I'm all hopped up on this one. Here we go. So, starting off, Nora Cornell, who I thought was going to lose, who made it look easy, won, even though she lost the first round. Number 13, I don't know if she moves up since Calvin was unranked. However, Yana Santos and Misha Tate, where are you at? You haven't fought in like at least 1, 2, maybe 3 years for Tate. Santos, I feel like I've seen like a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, 2. Y'all need to fight, lose your ranking. I know it's women's bantamweight, nobody cares, whatever. Part of the reason why I don't think we care after I was looking at these rankings is because these girls don't fight. Honestly, like, yeah, it's not as fun either way, but if these girls fought more, like, I don't know, like, maybe prospects would develop more and more fun fight. I mean, I don't know. Either way, Cornell versus one of those two. Fight or lose your ranking, even at women's bantamweight. Cowan, I don't care. I'm not even going to give her a matchup. Whatever. Don't care. Tulio, give him someone who also fought on this card. Michel Olajayshuk. I don't think we're pushing up Olajayshuk. I think he needs to fight another guy coming up off of a win. Like I said, Tulio looked really good against Tresean Gore. Tresean Gore was putting everything out there. For the most part, Tulio was making it look effortless. Body shots were nasty. Put him against Michel Olajayshuk. Put that on a pay-per-view. Or heck, main card of an Apex. Who cares? Do that. Banger. That would be fun. That's a fight that's always going to be fight of the night. Even on a pay-per-view, that could win fight of the night. They probably won't give him a bonus, but it would be, in a lot of fans' eyes, fight of the night type thing. As for Tresean Gore, really tough. Like I said, big fan. However, cut. You're 5-3 professionally. Go on a regional scene. Win 3 or 4 in a row. I'm fine with them taking you back. I think you're a fun fighter. I think you still kind of have potential. I don't know. Tough to say. But, yeah, it's unfortunate for Tresean Gore. I wish him the best. I hope he also takes some time off before, but I do think they're going to cut him. That's just how it goes. As for Sumadarji, I don't know. I kind of wanted... Sumadarji... Oh, I lost. Okay. Sumadarji to fight Ray Tazura. I think that's a decent fight. I don't know. Winner of that can look right outside the flyweight rankings. I think you do that, though. As for Cedric Dumas, put him up against someone who I think just fought last week, if not the weekend before. Who is it? Where is it? Oh, Robert Valentine. Yeah, do Robert Valentine versus Dumas. I don't know. I mean, that's probably for like winner doesn't get cut type thing. Probably. On to the next fight, though. We have Juliana Rosa versus... Oh, no, not Bert. I'll tell you who I'm going to have him against. I have 2. What they should do is him versus Brito. Fun fight. You could put down a pay-per-view. Not like a stacked pay-per-view, obviously, but like a UFC caliber as of recently pay-per-view. You could put that on. Or if you really want a roast again, closer to the rankings, have him versus Hyder Mill. Winner fights in the rankings, I guess. I hope not. That'd be horrible. No, Rosa probably needs another one after that, but yeah, I think a roasted Brito's a fun fight. I think even the Mill fight's fun. I think a Mill's looking for someone right outside the rankings right now. He finds his way in the rankings, so I don't know. I think Arosa needs like two more before we're talking rankings. As for Darren Elkins, though, please retire. Nobody wants to see that again. And I'm not trying to say that disrespectfully. Like, from a health standpoint, uh, you just got to call it, man. It was really sad to watch that. It was really tough. I know over the years he's taken a lot of damage, obviously, no pun intended. However, it's just unbearable to watch him go through that. And I hope the UFC cut him, but at the same time, if they cut him, he's just going to go to a regional scene or PFL or something, just get molt to air. So, I don't know. I hope he retires, though, Darren Elkins. Great career. Did a lot, kind of. But one of the OGs of featherweight, so give him respect there. Oh, man. Sorry, dude. I've fallen ill. Oh, man. Oh, all right. On to the next fight, though. We have Chase Hooper. I have him against two people as well. I think him versus Mataj Rebetsky would be insane. Winner of that, fights in the rankings, banger of a fight, probably ends in a finish. I can either see Hooper getting a sub or Rebecca KOing him. I think that's a really fun fight. But at the same time, I'm usually against putting up like the young guys against each other, especially right away. I just thought that was a really fun fight that kind of stood out to me while I was looking at the rankings. And mind you, this is not as raw as I usually am. I was so mad that I actually kind of did research on who I wanted to fight who. So for Hooper, I'm thinking Rebetsky. But if we want to have him just face another vet, build up more name, probably get a win, Diego Carlos Ferreira. And I think that's a competitive fight, even though Carlos Ferreira did not look that well against Grant Dawson, who's also pretty good. I think that's a tough fight for Hooper, but if he beats Douglas, what's his name, Diego Carlos Ferreira, then I think we're talking ranked fighters for Hooper. So, Rebetsky or him or Diego Carlos Ferreira, Carlos Diego Ferreira, whatever. Do one of those matchups. I think those are both really fun fights. Interesting fights, too. I don't know if Hooper wins either of those, but he did look pretty well, so he definitely has a chance for both. As for Jim Miller, I also want him to retire. However, he could still beat some of these lightweights. So, if not retire, I said layup. I'm not going to go through who. Probably sign someone off the Contender Series that not that good. Whatever. Actually, no. He deserves better than that. But give him a layup and have him win on some. I did hear a rumor he wants to fight until UFC 400. I don't want to see that. That would be so bad by that time. That's still like 6-7 years away. So, yeah, Jim Miller, retire or give him a layup. Vienna! Title shot. It was destined to be. So happy for Vienna. Brazil! This is for you! I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. It's gonna be crazy. Vienna, title shot. I'm gonna say knocks out Zhang Wei Li. First round KO. She's going to replicate the Rose high kick, and no one's going to see it coming, and it's going to be crazy. No, probably not, but I don't know. She might win. Her grappling did look that good. It was kind of like what I thought Tatiana Suarez was going to do to Zhang Wei Li, so never know. But yeah, not too much to go off about that. I think and I'll get into this with John Nan, Yao John Nan. I can't even say her name, but Jandaroba, she definitely deserves a title shot after this. But what I'm gonna say next now is interesting. So for Yan Zhao Nan, I think what is going to happen with strawweight, what I'm calling right now, which probably conflicts with my early year predictions, but what I'm starting to think is they're gonna do Vienna versus Zhang Weili probably in August. Actually, no, Zhang is never active. Probably in August or September, something like that. What will happen after that is I still think Zhang will win. I think it will be kind of close. I do realistically think Zhang Weili will win. What will happen is super fight, I think, which I don't want to happen, but I am starting to think that Shevchenko somehow does beat Fira, even though I was starting to think Fira beats Shevchenko. I think the Shevchenko and Zhang Weili matchup will happen. I think the UFC will also make Zhang Weili vacate like they did to Poirier. In that case, Yan Zhao Nan will fight Tatiana Suarez for the #1 or for the vacant belt. Zhang Weili will probably lose at flyweight and come back down or rematch one of those two. And I think Yan Zhao Nan. Well, I don't know if Yan Zhao. No, Suarez is gonna win, and then she's gonna lose again to Zhang Weili. It's just how life goes. It's whatever. I'm not gonna go into it. Just an idea I had. Probably gonna happen. It shouldn't happen though. I think women's flyweight is actually one of the most competitive divisions in the whole sport. Yes, male included. It is. Actually, probably outside top 10, not so much, but no, top 15 maybe. I don't know. Either way, women's flyweight, they got some contenders right now. Like, flyweight should be one of the busiest divisions next to like welterweight and a middleweight and stuff like that, you know? So, I think flyweight needs to stick to their own route, and I think strawweight, even though there's not a lot of contenders right now, just honestly wait with the Virna fight. Have the Virna fight be like late, and then have like build up like some other contenders. Hopefully, even though Lucindo just lost because she's trash. I don't know. It's whatever. Either way, I don't want to talk about it too much anymore. Dan Ige probably shouldn't have won. He won. Or I wouldn't say that. It was a weird stoppage. It is what it is. I think he should fight Giga if Giga loses against Onama, which I didn't even know was booked, which is like 2 weeks from now. Or Sodiq Yusuff if not. Ige's fought like almost everyone outside the rankings, inside the rankings. It's just kind of a tough position he's in. So, and none of the matchups like really hold a lot of value. So I think do him and Gige. If Gige loses, I think that makes a lot of sense, especially with Ige coming off a win, and he helped out the UFC with the Lopez fight. Oh, but he lost to Murphy right after. I forgot about that. So, and then if not, do Sodiq Yusuff right outside the rankings. I don't like that matchup. It's just like there's nothing else to do with Ige, which sucks, man. As for Woodson, like I was saying, I don't think his stock should diminish too much with this one. I think him versus Doo Ho Choi, really fun fight. Winner fights in the rankings. I think that you could put on the prelims of a stacked pay-per-view card. I think you can put it as like feature fight on like a fight night on the road, co-main event of an Apex card.
But that's a fun fight. I don't want that in Apex. I want that like somewhere, you know what I mean? Get out the Apex. Or actually, I don't mind the temporary Apex. I'm fine with 10 Apex cards a year. Like I'm fine with that. Or I don't know about 10, maybe 5 to 10, somewhere in there. Either way, Woodson, Dooho Choi, put on a pay-per-view, prelims, or main card of like one of those on the road fight nights. Moving on to Dominic Reyes, fantastic win. I was looking through it, man. I don't want to see like the Jan rematch. I don't really want to see. Actually, the Jan rematch does kind of make sense. I was looking at Rockets too, which I think is a winnable fight for Reyes. But no, dude. Reyes is on a 3 KO streak right now. Arguably beat Jones. Nothing is really happening at light heavyweight. In my opinion. Some people see it differently. Reyes versus Olberg, title eliminator. I'm going to be an oddball. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think Olberg deserves it. I don't know how they're going to influence him to take it. I just don't think that Olberg and Blachowicz fight did anything for me. Honestly, what it showed me, it just made me more confident that Ankalaev or Pereira would beat him. And probably Yuri. I think Yuri would beat him too. The reason why I'm completely neglecting Yuri is because in the off chance, even though I kind of don't think it, in the off chance that Pereira wins and like, I don't know, let's say they don't run back the immediate trilogy. Like, I have a feeling like Ankalaev's about to get robbed if like O'Malley wins. Like, where, oh, they get this immediate title shot, but if they win, you're not getting that trilogy, you know, type thing. So I think if Yuri beats Olberg or whatever in some stupid stuff, then I don't want to see Pereira and Yuri. I've been saying it for the past few weeks, maybe a couple months now. So Olberg Reyes, fresh matchup for either Ankalaev or Pereira. Fun matchup, I think, Reyes and Olberg. Reyes will bring the fight to Olberg. Don't you worry. So, do that. Hopefully Reyes chins him. I used to be a big Olberg fan, but it's kind of getting old. I don't think he's that good anymore. I think he's hit his ceiling at that top 5. But, yeah, do that. Title eliminator. I think that's a really fun fight. As for Krylov, rebook the Azamat Mirzakhanov fight. Let Azamat get a chance in top 10 because, like I said, light heavyweight needs some new guys. I think Krylov could win that, though. He just needs to sharpen up a little bit. Tough scene, though, for Krylov either way, but good fight with that. I think that's a lot of ranking implication there. Moving on. What I've been waiting for. John Silva. I know what people are saying. Oh my gosh, he should be fighting top 5 next. Oh, he should be fighting Brian Ortega, Arnold Allen type, something like that. F that. We are not doing that. Aljamain Sterling, take him out. Take out John Silva. 30 takedown attempts. 22 landed. I see it here firsthand. Take this man out. Wrestle fuck him. End it. I don't want to see John Silva get KO'd. I don't think. No, I'm actually fine with that too. But I want to see Aljo just put on a wrestling clinic. Fraud check him. Fraud check him so bad that people won't even be like, oh, well, his striking and his power, and he showboats, and who cares? Yeah, bro. These Fighting Nerds fans, they're annoying now. They are becoming, I can't say McGregor fans yet. That's pretty bad. But they're getting up there. So, yeah, either way, Aljo, Silva, book it. They won't do it, though. I know they'll give him an Ortega or something. just how this life goes. They're gonna reward this cringy demon sorcerer type fool, whatever. Going on to Bryce Mitchell, him versus Cater. It's a winnable matchup for both. Have it headline an Apex probably. Maybe main card of a pay-per-view. I don't know. Co-main on a fight night, one of the southern states, something like that. Either way, do something like that. I don't want to talk about it. See what you do, John Silva. You destroy families. You hurt everybody. All this just so you can bark and hopefully get wrestle-fucked by Aljo. I hope you're happy, John Silva. I hope you're happy. Yair Rodriguez, it's so simple. Diego Lopez. I don't know if it's confirmed that Guadalajara in September is a pay-per-view or not. If it's a fight night, have this headline it. If it's a pay-per-view, have this be co-main if you get a great main event. If not, have it be the feature fight. Yair Lopez. I kind of want to see it 5 rounds, but I feel like this is like a 3-round fight. So, Yair Lopez. Maybe winner gets a title shot. Which I hope Lopez destroys him. Either way, good win for Yair, whatever. But yeah, that's the fight you have to make. There's no way they can botch that. Like, if they botch that, like, that's crazy. Pitbull, I really don't know where they're going to put him in the rankings. I assume it's probably going to be around the top 10. But I think him versus Emmett, they're both vets. Fun fight, really fun fight. You could definitely put that on the main card of a pay-per-view. Absolute banger. Probably ends in a finish, but I don't know. Pitbull, that was my first time watching Pitbull fight, I think, maybe second time, and that was very boring. Maybe he had the jitters, or maybe he just really respected Yair as a striker, but I think Emmett and Pitbull will be a fun fight, hopefully. Please don't let me down. As for Patty, I thought about this long and hard. I think what's going to happen now, I did originally want Gaethje Poirier. It's probably going to be Poirier Holloway, which doesn't make sense too much. If they do Poirier Holloway, I don't even know what they do with Dan Hooker. Oh, that sucks for Dan Hooker, but yeah, Poirier and Holloway is probably going to happen. I think they still do Charles and Ilya, I guess, for a title shot, because Islam's going to wait out. I don't even know, bro. Oh my gosh, I thought I had this laid out. But yeah, I think I'm just going to do Patty Gaethje. Winnable fight for Patty. I think UFC will not hesitate to book that. I saw Gaethje still calling for a title shot. Brother, if you want a title shot, fight Arman first. Like, no, like, that's absolutely crazy. But if not, fight Patty. And if you beat Patty, I might be all right with it, maybe. But yeah, Patty versus Gaethje, that could be a co-main event and sell a lot of pay-per-views. You know, Patty's starting to prove he is a star for sure. Like I said, kind of cringe, egomaniac, it's whatever. He kind of backed it up with the Chandler fight. I think he does beat Justin Gaethje at this point, but fun fight. That's what you gotta do. Maybe actually have a main event, a fight night, but I think at this point that they're gonna want Patty on pay-per-views only. Honestly, I could be wrong, but it just kind of seems like it's going that route, which makes sense. Like I said, he's probably one of the bigger, younger stars in the sport right now for sure. As for Chandler, I heard there's rumors that they're gonna give one of my other fellow brother Christians to a fight nerd, you know, because UFC is trying to kill off my brothers. But you know, if not, you gotta. If they don't give Huffy to Dariush, I think Huffy versus Chandler is such a fun fight. That fight open up the main card on a stacked pay-per-view. That fight would be so fun. They probably don't make that though. Huffy's probably looking to get back soon. They're gonna give him the Dariush fight. My boy Dariush is gonna take it because he's a dog. I know he got that dog in him. Wouldn't that be a beautiful day if Dariush beat Huffy? But that's a whole nother thing. So if that does happen though, Chandler and Gamrot's like the only other thing you can do really. I think that's an interesting fight. I don't know how fun. No, that'd probably be a fun fight. Chandler always makes it a fun fight. But I don't think Chandler would accept that, especially after the Patty loss. I don't know though. UFC might force his hand. Moving on though, Volkanovski, it's so obvious he needs to fight Evloev. Evloev is the guy to face. I think Volkanovski can win. I think it is kind of an interesting fight. I think my early prediction is going to be a 48-47 across the board. Maybe one of those weird scorecards where it's like a 49-46, even though Evloev wins 2 rounds. I think Evloev wins like the first 2 rounds probably, and then Volk just clears the last 3 easily, and just doesn't. It's like competitive, but it's like not. I don't know, but I think that is kind of an interesting fight. That should be the best grappler Volk ever fought, right? I'd assume. I don't know. I mean, we kind of don't know how good Toporia's grappling is, or like we do have a. Offensively, we don't really know, like to the likes of Evloev, but you know, I think Evloev will definitely be a big test, and if Volk wins that, he's definitely featherweight GOAT. I was thinking about this with the Lopez when he might be. I think I still have Aldo by like a hair. I don't know. Yeah, I think I still have Aldo by a hair. Nah, honestly, now I think about it, now Volk's probably featherweight GOAT. Man, yeah, he probably is number 6, 7 best UFC fighter all time, in my opinion. If he beats Evloev, he's probably number 5. Yeah, probably number 5. So, yeah, that was a good win for Volk, man. I don't know about the Evloev fight. I think he wins. I think it's closer than the Lopez fight, though, just like in a different way. I think it's more with the grappling, might give him some issues early. But I think on the feet, though, Volk is going to kind of make it look easy. I'm still going to always worry about the durability, though. He did take damage against Lopez, too, even though he ate the shots, man. Like, he ate some shots, man. Like, don't be surprised if Evloev lands a random 1-2 with, like, you don't think a lot of power into Volk is just out. You know what I mean? Like, something weird. So I might honestly throw a little, like, Evloev KO action in there, but I'll probably be Ben Volk for sure, man. He looked good. But either way, enough venting for me. Long video today. Much necessary. I couldn't wait to do this one. I had to take time out of my hard-earned free time to make this video because I am livid. And I know how the UFC is going to set this up with Patty and John Silva. And eventually I'm going to learn to hate this sport. And I cannot wait until that day. I'm being dramatic. But either way, I'm out, YouTube. F this.